Hi guys, today we're going to be learning about rounding to the nearest 10. You should have already watched the video on YouTube about the rounding wrap. If you have not watched it yet, you can find it in our Bitmoji classroom and in the math slide. So I'm going to assume that you've already watched it. Now, if you haven't, please pause this video and go do that because we will be using that song to round to the nearest 10 today. So remember, when we're rounding to the nearest 10, we like to think of it as going from, let's say we have the number 36. Okay, so 36. And we want to find the nearest 10 that is closest to. Okay, so for example, our 10s are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And we want to find out which 10 this is closest to. Now it's in the 30s, and the next 10 would be 40. So is it closer to 30 or closer to 40? And that's what we're figuring out today with rounding to the nearest 10. So we're going to listen to the rounding wrap, okay? So find the place value, circle that digit, that is the first line. Okay, that's what they say first. So we're finding the place value. Now we're rounding to the nearest 10. If you remember, place value, we have ones place, tens place, hundreds place. We are rounding to the nearest 10, so we need to find the tens place. So the number, whatever number is in the tens place. And that happens to be the 3. So I'm circling the 3. Find the place value, circle that digit, move to the right, and underline it. Perfect. Now it says 0 through 4, the circle stays the same. 5 through 9, adding 1. 0 through 4 stays the same. 5 through 9, add 1. All right, so we're looking at the underlined number now. So is 6 0 through 4? Is it in between 0 and 4, or is it in between 5 and 9? Okay, so I am also going to write down a number line. Starting with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You might want to do that as well. I would really love if you would follow along on a whiteboard or a piece of paper. Perfect. I'm going to put our number line right there. Okay, so we underline the 6. Now we are looking at the 6 to see, is the 3 going to stay the same, or is the 3 going to go up 1? Are we going to add 1 to the 3? Now 6, is that in between 0 and 4 on our number line? Or is it in between 5 through 9 on our number line? Well, where is the 6? Is it in between 0 and 4 or 5 through 9? I'll give you a second to think about that. And if you are thinking that it is in between the 5 through 9, then you are correct. Okay, so that means 5 through 9, add 1. So we have to add 1 to the circled number. Okay, so I'm going to draw an arrow down here. And 3 plus 1 equals 4. So that's changing to a 4. And the 6, well, if you remember in the song, after it says move to the right and underline it, 0 through 4, the circle stays the same. 5 through 9, adding 1 is the game, which we already did. Now flex your muscles, just like a hero. All the other numbers turn to 0. So the 6 changes to a 0. So 36 is closest to 40. That is the nearest 10. Okay? So let's do another one, because I know that this concept can be a little bit tricky for us sometimes. So I'm going to delete that. And now I'm going to erase. Oops, that's not erase. I'm going to erase this, and it just brought my 36 back, didn't it? So I'm going to erase that, just so we can still have our number line and everything. All right. So let's do the number 73. We want to round 73 to the nearest 10. Okay, so rounding 73 to the nearest 10, we're going to do it the same way that we did the last number. Okay, so we're going to sing the song. Find the place value, circle that digit. So we are finding the tens place because we're rounding to the nearest 10. Okay, so we're finding the place value, circle that digit, move to the right and underline it. 0 through 4, the circle stays the same. 5 through 9, adding 1 is the game. Okay, so we're looking at 3. Is it in between 0 and 4, or is it in between 5 through 9? Look on our number line here. Is the number 3, which is right here, okay, is it in between 0 through 4 or 5 and 9? Say it out loud right now. Pretend I can hear you. Okay, if you said that it is in between 0 and 4, you are correct. So what happens when this number is in between 0 and 4? What does it say up here? Yes, it stays the same. Okay, so the circle stays the same. Okay, so that means that I'm going to do a little arrow, and it's just going to stay the same. It's going to stay 7. Now flex your muscles just like a hero. All the other numbers change to 0. That means the 3 just changes to a 0. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Awesome. Let's do another one. Just gonna erase this. So 73 rounded to the nearest 10 is 70. Okay, that's what we just figured out. So let's do another one, and I'll give you a chance to do one on your own. Okay. All right. Let's do the number 68. No, I don't want to do 68. I want to do 35. All right. Let's round 35 to the nearest 10. Okay, so write that down on your whiteboard or your piece of paper, please. If you don't have a whiteboard or a piece of paper, then I need you to go get one so you can follow along. All right, so let's sing the song again. Find the place value, circle that digit. So we have to circle the nearest, or the tens place. Okay, so we're circling the tens because that's what we are rounding to. We're rounding to the nearest 10. Circle that digit, move to the right, and underline it. If this is 0 through 4, then the circle stays the same. If it is 5 through 9, adding 1 is the game. Okay, so on our number line, where is the 5? Is it in between 0 and 4 or 5 through 9? If you think it is in between 5 through 9, then you are correct. Okay, so that means we have to do what to the circled number? Look right here. What do we have to do to the circled number? That's right, we have to add 1. So we're adding 1 to the circled number. 3 plus 1 equals what? 4. Perfect. Now, it wants us to flex our muscles like a hero. All the other numbers turn to 0. Perfect. And then you're done. 35 rounded to the nearest 10 is 40. All right. Let's do a couple more here because rounding is a very, very important skill, and tomorrow we're learning rounding to the nearest 100. So it's very important that you understand how to round to the nearest 10 today so we can do 100 tomorrow. All right, now I'm going to do a 3-digit number this time. 124. That's my number. We're rounding it to the nearest 10. Whoops. My earring just came out. Oh, well, it's fine. I just have one earring now. So we're rounding to the nearest 10. So let's find the place value, circle that digit. Okay, so this is, I'm not trying to trick you here, but it's a little bit harder because it's a 3-digit number now. We have to find the tens place because we're rounding to the nearest 10. Okay, so the number in the tens place, find it here. Is it 1, 2, or 4 in the tens place? If you are thinking 2, you are correct. So we're going to circle that digit, move to the right, and underline it. Notice we don't do anything to the 1, okay? The 1 is just going to be the same all throughout this problem, okay? So we move to the right and underline the 4. If this number is 0 through 4, then the circled number stays the same. If this number is 5 through 9, then we add 1 to the circled number. So is 4 in between 0 through 4, or is it in between 5 through 9? If you are thinking that it is in between 0 through 4, you are correct. Okay? So 0 through 4, the circle stays the same. So I'm making that 2 stay the same. Drop down. I'm going to write 2. Flex your muscles just like a hero. This number would turn to 0. Now remember, I said we are not doing anything with this 1 right here. So it just stays the same, okay? We don't need to worry about it. So 124 rounded to the nearest 10 is 120.